right, guys. Welcome to part 3 of the America trip. Troy's first trip to the United States of America. This is, like I said, part 3. This is going to be our last part of this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't seen the first and the second part of the podcast, you should definitely go listen to that because we've had some good talks. A lot of funny memories shared already, and we got a lot of details to go over in this podcast. Basically, what we're going to be talking about is the last 2 weeks. So the week after the wedding and then this past week. We fit a lot of activities in 2 weeks. I am still surprised we were able to get as much done, especially with schedules. And I mean, I kind of had to go back to work this week and still getting to do stuff even in the midst of all that craziness going on. The first thing that I want to do is go ahead and introduce everybody in the studio. Of course, I'm Brandon, also known as Chicken Fried. I've got Troy, also known as Tragic. I've got Hunter, also known as Slaytech. And I've got Connor, also known as Claus. We're chilling out, just kind of telling stories and making a podcast all together. And first thing that we're going to hit in the podcast is food. I ain't going to lie, I'm a hefty boy. I love food. Food has been a staple in my life since I was a kid. It's always been, if I was sad, I'd eat. If I was happy, I'd eat, that kind of thing. And having somebody from Australia come over and eat American food, we were worried we were going to kill him. But one thing that I knew I had to make him eat while he was in town is a sandwich from a local restaurant that I love called Burger Hoss. This is right across the street from a McDonald's in my hometown. And the owner wanted something to kind of combat the Big Mac. So what he made was called a Big Mike. What this thing is 4 hamburger patties. It is 3 buns. It is a slice of thick cut ham. It's got lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle. I mean, everything. This thing is held together by a plastic knife. And I made the 130-pound Australian try to demolish one of these. And it's so funny because, we took pictures before and after, of course, and we sent it to this group chat that we created. And what this group chat is it's basically the America trip in pictures. It originally was, us 4 here, the boys, Hannah and Troy's mom. And it ended up, Hunter and Connor's mom took some pictures and we wanted her to be able to share them. So we added, her to the group. And then by the time we were done, I think we've got most of Troy's brothers and sisters in here.
Yeah,
we've got Troy's dad in there who is, I'm talking, taking jabs every time he can.
Yep. Whole family.
It became this big group chat that I hope, honestly, that we can keep going after you go home. Because it's been so cool to finally put, faces to names and voices. Because we've heard your dad for years when we were playing games. But, we never get to talk to him directly. And we've heard your mom a couple times on streams and when we were playing together, but we've never been able to put a face there. And this chat gave us that ability. So I want you to tell me, what was your experience like with that big old sandwich?
Well, I wouldn't say I felt confident at the start. Obviously, I knew basically from the start that you wanted me to try it. So when we went in there, I figured now's the time to do it. I wouldn't say I was hungry as well at the time, but I was pretty keen to try and tackle it. And as it's no word of a lie, it's massive. I think I ate the top half of the burger and maybe a couple bites of the bottom half. It still comes with a side of fries, so fries didn't get touched. Most of the burger got eaten. But yeah,
It's a heart attack waiting to happen.
yeah.
He ate everything on the top half of the burger except the tomatoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or as he says,
Tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Tomato doesn't matter.
Of course, we put a couple pictures of the before and afters of him trying to eat this sandwich, and his dad made a couple jabs at him, and I thought that was pretty funny. But I do have a couple questions for you in regards to food. So tell me, like we talked in the first podcast about food in general. What are portion sizes in America versus Australia? Like, is there a big difference there?
I wouldn't really know exactly yet. Like the stuff from McDonald's is pretty much the same. Big Mac's exactly the same. The chicken sandwich I think, is slightly smaller up here than what is back home. The large fries up here is like, no, sorry. The medium fries up here is like a large back home, and then there's a bigger size for large. Same as like the drinks. The drinks, a medium up here is like a large back home. And then just in like general eating out, it's all pretty similar, especially like restaurants like that. They're pretty much similar.
A lot of the chain restaurants, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the chain restaurants, exactly.
What was your thought on places like Sonic?
Well, see, Sonic's something like back home we don't have, and it will be up there as in my favourites so far since I've been up here. We've had it a couple of times.
Of course, that Route 44 drink that you can get, big ol', 44 ounces of soda is too much for anybody.
Yes.
I'll admit that, but it's my go-to.
Yeah, it's just like, you got to have it. Look, I'd rather have too much drink than not enough drink, so.
Oh, yeah.
So, we talked about food a little bit. Now we're going to get to talk about some of the things that we got to do that Troy can't do at home. He can't just go out and do this on a Wednesday afternoon like we did. One thing that we got to do was we got to take Troy to a local conservation gun range. Of course, where Troy's from, in Australia, guns are not nearly as readily available. That's a hard word. As they are here. You can't just go and grab, the stuff that I have at my house even. And I don't have that many compared to some other people that I know. But Troy, what were your expectations when it came to going to the gun range?
Yeah, it was definitely an experience. I knew it would probably be loud. That's something I was expecting. I definitely wasn't expecting like the kick. But overall it was a pretty good experience. Yeah.
What was your favorite gun to shoot?
It would have had to be the ARs.
They are?
Yeah.
So, I obviously play video games. Expect anything. Like, obviously, it's completely different. It's a simulation versus real life. But, like, what'd you think?
It's completely different. It's completely different.
So, of course, we went in the afternoon during a weekday because we wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be 1,000 people at this range, because that can't happen, and that kind of ruins it. Luckily, there was only 5 or 6 guys out there, and the guys that were out there were extremely cool, extremely nice. They were didn't cause us too many issues, and they were actually pretty talkative with us. I brought out my AR-15. You guys brought out your AR-15, Hunter and Connor. And then we brought some pistols out to shoot too.
Dang right.
And I think between the 4 of us that went, we probably put down close to 500 or 600 rounds of 5.56 between the 2 ARs. And then, I think we probably put down 200 rounds of 40 out of my pistol, and then probably 50, 60 rounds out of your guys' 9.
Oh, yeah. Easy. We went through quite a bit of rounds. Yeah.
And let's be honest, it's probably the most expensive thing we did the entire time you were here.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
By far, one of the highlights of this trip with you was being able to take you to do something that I find fun. Like, going out and shooting is something that I find fun. I find it relaxing. And the fact that you got to do that with us is awesome.
Right.
Because that's a story you'll be able to tell all your friends when you get home.
Dang right.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience. Very grateful to be able to go out and do it. So,
and to be clear, you have shot a gun before this, right?
Yeah, I didn't shoot it at home. I shot it when I was on like vacation in Thailand.
What'd you get to shoot?
I can't remember what it was.
Nothing compared to what you shot here, though.
Nah.
I think we talked about it, and I think it was something comparable to like a 22 long rifle.
Probably.
Yeah, it was like
smaller gun.
It definitely didn't sound anywhere near what we shot.
So we spent probably 2 hours at the gun range,
flew by.
Of course, I'm big on gun safety. We got a group of guys here that care about gun safety. So made sure that we taught Troy how to do things correctly. Made sure we wore our hearing protection because I don't like my ears ringing. But we got to do what we love to do and show Troy in a very safe and controlled manner, and we didn't have to worry about people being stupid either.
Dang right.
Yeah.
Kind of took you out of your comfort zone a little bit, huh?
Oh yeah, the first couple shots definitely took me by surprise.
Yeah, he picked up the AR the first time and shot like 5 times and turned around and looked at the rest of us like biggest grin on his face, couldn't stop laughing and smiling.
I just remember looking at him and going, "Bud, you've got 30 in there." And he goes, "Oh." I'm like, "Shoot every one of them. Keep going."
Yep.
So, I mean, he shot his first clip and he got up for a minute. He kind of adjusted his shoulders. And, okay, everything's still intact. Okay, we're good. And, by the time it was done, I think you had a great time.
Oh, it was definitely fun.
So after we got done at the gun range, of course, Hunter and Connor had to go home and deal with some stuff. And me and Troy got to take a trip out to my grandfather's house. My grandpa lives just about 5 miles away from the conservation range. And this place has really been my favorite place growing up because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And, I got to kind of roam free when I was out there growing up. And, of course, Grandpa is on vacation right now, so we just got to take a quick tour of the house. And I got to kind of show Troy my happy place. And I was glad we got to do that. I mean, I know it probably would have been a lot more meaningful if we had some more time. But I'm glad that I got to take you out there, and you kind of got to see into, the background of old Chicken here, and kind of see what I grew up with,
Yeah, it was I love the place itself, myself as well. It's you can lose yourself so quick just in what's around there. So, I had an absolute blast here as well.
So, the next thing we get to talk about is probably the most fun thing we got to do in that week, and probably the thing I was the most scared to do with Troy. What we did was we conducted a fried food night. So, Americans are known for their fatty foods. They're known for, kind of being overboard with their creations. And I wanted to show Troy some of my favorite things that I could throw in a deep fryer. So what we did was we set up my little skillet deep fryer outside on the back porch, and we made a whole mess of food. I mean, it was more than we could eat. I ended up giving some to my neighbors because they were outside. And, we started out pretty easy. We grilled some chicken tenders and some waffle fries. We got a couple of videos of Troy shaking a paper bag full of waffle fries. And, we just kind of got to, once again, sit down and, as my mom would say, get some fellowship in.
Yep.
We got time to sit around and chat and talk about what was going on and, where Ozone was. And we actually had a pretty decent Ozone meeting that night, in which I talked Troy into joining TikTok. I thought that was an accomplishment of my life because he's like, I don't got no TikTok. I ain't no time for it. By the time the night was over, he downloaded TikTok and he was already eager to make his first one.
Yep.
But, so we made chicken tenders and waffle fries for dinner, and I kind of let everything settle for a little bit. And then we created the best spread of fried desserts I could ever imagine. And I made Troy come inside and help me make the first one. What were your thoughts on when you first walked into my kitchen to help me make our first dessert?
It was definitely an experience. I obviously knew what we were going to be doing. So yeah, it was crazy. I'm surprised it worked.
What was the first dessert?
That was the deep fried butter.
The butter
So
balls.
what we did was we made us some deep fried butter balls. I could not think of anything more American than butter. I mean, we make everything with butter. So what we did was we froze a couple slabs of butter and we rolled them in some biscuits. And those things cooked in that deep fryer in probably 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It took no time at all.
Yeah.
And we've
Very
got
fast.
videos of, Hannah made a nice little video for us of putting that, nice powdered sugar on top. And I got a video of Troy trying it for the first time and him just going, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I got a video of me and Hunter getting to try it for the first time.
Hell yeah.
And, I didn't know if that was going to work or not,
Yeah.
but I just thought there's nothing more American than fried butter.
It worked.
It turned out great.
Oh, my God. It
That's all I
was so
can say.
good.
It worked for sure.
Now Troy's going to go home and try to do it at home and try to show all his family.
Just don't burn
was
down
scones.
the kitchen.
I just don't know what I'd wrap butter in. We don't have
Scones.
biscuits back home.
Oh, yeah. I
Nah,
forgot you
'cause-
don't have biscuits.
That's
Like
true.
we get scones already pre-baked.
You can't go to the grocery store and get I guess you could do it in phyllo dough. Do you have that?
Just look up how to make
Probably.
biscuit dough.
We
could.
do you have anything like pizza dough or bread
we-
dough?
We probably do. I don't go to the grocery store that
Probably
often,
do it.
so
Pie crust.
that
Pie
would,
crust as
that
well.
might work too. It's a dessert type crust. I mean,
Yeah.
it would work. And then after that, what other desserts did we do?
what was it? There was Oreos.
So we did some fried Oreos.
Yeah, we did Oreos.
I
Twinkies.
did make.
we
no,
didn't touch the Twinkies.
we were gonna do Twinkies, but
Oh,
then we
yeah.
then we got to the point where everybody's like, "Oh, we're feeling sick," so we didn't do Twinkies. We tried to deep fry a Tim Tam,
Yeah,
and
we-
it didn't work.
We tried that.
Yeah.
But we
What
did,
Then there was banana.
we did some bananas, and those were. I've done those before, and they normally turn out the same. They're just mushy.
Mm.
What are Tim Tams?
I think you would be able to answer that one yourself because
Uh,
you
I
ate
ate
most.
most of them.
So
Most of
They're
them.
the treasure of Australia.
Yeah, they are the treasure.
yeah, I
There's-
thought you would like those.
There's 3 flavors: white
There's
chocolate.
more than 3. That's just the 3
Okay,
I
the
brought.
3 he brought was white chocolate, regular, which is kind of like a milk chocolate wafer, and then the caramel or caramel. But the caramel ones are hectic. They're insane. They're nuts.
I mean, we figured it's always worth trying. It's the American way. So we threw it in that oil, and that batter that I made didn't stick for nothing. So that was definitely a fail. But
It's just
chocolate
melted in the oil, and
Yeah.
it just kind of turned to mush.
And it still sort of tastes like the Oreo with a
Yeah.
bit we
Yeah.
end up having. So
Mm. Yeah.
I feel like there was one more. What else did we do? We did Oreos. We did bananas. We did butter balls. I made just a couple. Oh God, I can't even
Little
think.
funnel
cakes.
cakes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
funnel cakes. And that was just kind of with the leftover batter we had.
Yeah,
And they turned out okay. It was whatever.
it's just fried batter.
Yeah.
But the butter balls were probably the highlight. They were money.
I mean, I'm gonna do them again. They
Oh,
turned out
yeah.
great. But we got all the fried foods in, and of course, what is the best thing to go with a fried food, Troy?
Alcohol.
Beer. Yep. We sat outside for probably 3 or 4 hours afterwards. Still, like I said, just kind of sitting and chatting, and I got some more of that peach moonshine out. We did some shots of UV
I was the
cherry.
instigator.
Everything.
Well, let me
we done
rephrase
some
that.
shotguns.
The adults did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Connor
Yes,
just
the
sat in the
adults
corner
did.
and said, "You haven't had enough yet. Keep going."
yeah,
And
Connor was definitely the instigator. As soon as we got starting to get empty, there was a new one ready to go. So
I completely forgot. We helped Troy shotgun his first beer.
yep,
Damn right we
I-
did.
ended up
We
doing a couple
cannot
as well.
forget that because God
Yeah.
bless America, that boy
Yep.
shotgunned, and he kept up with me and Hunter.
He did.
I was proud of
I
him.
was proud.
I feel like you two should have had to do a shoey with him since he did a shotgun.
we still got a couple days. We can still get
All
that
right.
I've done a shoey though.
Okay. You
I-
gotta
yeah,
do
done.
it
Done one with
again.
me.
I don't think I have any shoes I'd be willing to drink beer out of.
That
Yeah,
don't
I've got
matter.
a couple. I've got a couple for you.
Oh, okay. I'll drink beer out of one of Troy's shoes. So that was Friday night. Friday night was pretty cool. That was probably the best Ozone meeting we've ever had. Was
Tried
drunk in my backyard.
Tried to climb a tree, and
Yep.
it didn't work.
Failed miserably,
He's not a koala.
but
Yep,
I
nope.
still believe I can get up that tree if I was sober.
One day.
Yep. If you're
Next-
sober.
Next time you're here.
And the one person that didn't drink was the one person that threw up out of that whole ordeal.
And that was funny to me because Troy told me the next morning that he did spend some time sitting on my bathroom floor because he said he woke up one time and felt like he might get sick. And I remember waking up the next morning and the text I had was, "Connor, Guys, I threw up so hard it came out my nose.
See, and this is how it was. So I was asleep, dead to the world. I woke up and read that message, and I was like, "Oh, I might be in the same boat." So I went in there, and like I done that kneel in front of the toilet seat, and I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty good." And then I was like, "Oh, I'll just lay here just in case for a second." So I was laying on the floor in their bathroom for maybe 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty good." I got up, walked back in the room, and I was dead asleep after that again.
Yeah.
Walk that shit off.
Yeah.
Like I said, I found it funny that the only person that didn't actually consume any alcohol that night was the one that got the sickest.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was sitting in bed, woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and you get that gut feeling, and I was sitting there, I was like, I think I'm good. I got it.
Nope.
Next thing I know, I was running to the toilet.
Yeah, see, that's the feeling I thought I had. I was like, "Oh, if I go now, I'll beat it
Yeah.
before it gets too bad."
Oh, I barely made it.
So that was Fry night. Honestly, that's top 5 things that we got to do.
Oh yeah.
Pretty high on that list.
it was
I
good.
would say.
Yeah.
Living life, enjoying
Definitely.
each other's times. It was great.
So the next thing, we kind of got to experience a Missouri tradition with Troy, and that is coming together for food, family, and football. So Troy got to sit down and watch some Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, we know that, football is not the same where you're at.
Yeah, completely different.
And I just thought it was only customary that we made him sit down and watch some football with us.
Yep.
And man, it was a pretty good game too.
Great
we got to
game.
watch. We're grateful that we got to do that. The other thing we got to do football wise, just a couple nights ago, was my hometown football. Of course, Hunter and Connor's hometown football too. Advanced to the district's portion of their season. They had their first playoff game. And of course, it was a nail biter. It was dramatic. It was a little hype there for a bit. But Troy got to finally experience what we call Friday Night Lights.
Dang right.
Of course, that is how football should be watched, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
And, I'm glad he got to watch that first, that game, his first day in America, that Saturday afternoon
yeah.
game. But you don't get the same feeling in a Saturday afternoon. The sun's out. There's not as
Right.
many people. There's not like that drama of Friday nights.
Yeah, no Friday night lights.
It was good.
Experience.
Who did we play?
We played at Clinton, Missouri.
Yep.
Okay.
Ended up score was 49-26. I mean, so
There you
boys whooped butt.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they came out hot. Got a bit sketchy there for a second, but
But they were
They
able to
brought it
pull it
back.
off.
Closed it out.
Troy got to my favorite part of Troy's trip is that he has almost got to witness every season that Missouri offers. It was kind of cold when he first got here. We've had some 80-degree days, and currently outside the studio, I want to say it is like 37 degrees right now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah,
got
and
to
it's-
see summer, spring, fall.
and it's just gonna get colder.
Yeah, it's
From
39
here on out.
degrees and snowing right now. I mean,
Yep.
that's what my phone says. But we've gotten to kind of experience all that, and that football game was cold.
It was.
Oh,
As
yeah.
long as the wind wasn't blowing, it wasn't too bad. But
Yeah.
we went over and got a coffee from the concession stand, and I remember we talked about coffee in the previous podcast with Hannah, and I remember Troy taking the first drink of that coffee and just goes, it's okay. We got better coffee at home.
Was it coffee or hot chocolate?
No, it was
It was
coffee.
coffee.
Oh, it
They
was.
ran out of hot chocolate like 2 minutes before we got over there.
Figures.
But that was like halftime, and
Right.
it
Yeah.
is what it is. But we got to talking about coffee at home, and he of course has already admitted he doesn't go to the grocery store, so
Yeah.
he just said he goes out there and there's coffee ready to be made. So he can't tell me like what a standard coffee brand from Australia is. But
We're like, we got Folgers here.
well, he gave me like Nescaf,
Oh, I mean, Nescafe's everywhere though.
and I'm
Okay.
like, Nescaf to me is, from everything I know about Nescaf, bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Folgers
Not-
is like
not
the
good coffee.
standard.
But I don't drink. I'm not a huge coffee drinker like every day. I drink it every now and then, just if I'm feeling like I need to pick me up or something.
Right.
But that brings us to the last couple things that we've gotten to do. So right before we started recording these podcasts, we got to go do something called axe throwing. So this is something that Troy's gotten to do at home. So it's not a new thing for him, but it was something that we could all go do together. That really wasn't too awfully expensive, like $20, $25 a person. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And all we did was we just went and threw some axes at walls and played some games, and got to hang out, the four of us and also my wife. And I kind of want you guys to touch on what you thought about axe throwing. I know you guys have probably done it in the past, haven't you?
No,
you haven't?
That was actually, I believe, mine and Connor's first time.
Oh, that's
going.
awesome.
I've done it before. I've done it once.
Yeah, it was an experience. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty crazy get up. They run. You get all these throwable weapons, and
Which for a bunch of video gamers is like a dream.
right.
Right.
yeah.
Because how many times have you, playing COD and you're, I'm going to be a knife guy today.
Yep.
I'm going to throw this throwing knife. And you're like, I wonder what that's actually like. You go to a place like, I will shout these guys out because they were awesome. The place is called Como Axe Attack. It's here in Columbia, Missouri. And we went there and we had a blast. We had throwing stars, throwing playing cards. They handed us a couple spears. They had a
full-size axe.
They had a knife that you could throw out of a broken baseball bat.
Yep.
Like it was awesome. And the guys working the night, I wish I would have caught their names, but I didn't. They were fantastic. I mean, the place was pretty empty for a Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, they actually stood there and talked to us for a while and kind of walked us through how things go and, gave us some tips and tricks. And I believe they truly like what they do. And that's hard to find in people nowadays. But we had a hell of a time axe throwing.
Great time.
And then we went to probably one of, in our area, best known, kind of sports bars. We went and had some, as we call it, B-dubs. Troy, have you learned what B-dubs is yet?
Yes, that is Buffalo Wild Wings.
So we're all about slang here. We use a lot of slang around our parts. But we kept calling it B-dubs, and he'd always ask,
Yeah.
What's B-dubs? Like Buffalo Wild Wings. We're going to go get some Buffalo Wild Wings. And we finally got to take them there tonight.
And you guys have Hooters back home too, because that's another wing place.
Yeah,
I was
we have a fair
Como
few
here.
of these sort of things. We got Hooters, we got Macca's, Subway, KFC, all those sort of things. We got obviously Sonic
And
and all that. We don't.
what do you guys call chicken sandwiches?
A chicken burger.
A chicken burger.
Chicken burger.
Yep, chicken
Yep,
burgers.
And
There's no sandwiches here.
we call them chicken sandwiches, not chicken burgers. Or what's your favorite one? The Zinger burger?
Yeah, the Zinger burger is just like a spicy chicken sandwich.
I don't know if that's what KFC calls it here. They just have.
I think so.
It's
That
called
might
Zinger.
actually be. Might actually be
We
it.
don't need KFC.
We'll find out right now.
So we got to go do that. Got Troy to eat some boneless wings. He ate some of mine, which I think I almost killed him in 2 bites because my flavor profile at Buffalo Wild Wings is hot. Just hot. I get the one that's called Asian Zing. I get the one that's called Buffalo Nashville style hot chicken. That was really good. But I had Troy try those, and I just remember him going, "Oh, these aren't too bad." And then he drank his entire glass of sweet tea on the spot.
And then our waiter took his sweet time getting back over there for refill, so he endured it for a minute.
So,
I think I enjoyed it until it was gone because I don't think I had another drink after that.
So what was your overall thoughts on axe throwing and then Buffalo Wild Wings after?
Yeah, it was exactly what I was expecting. Axe throwing is very similar to back home. Back home, though, it's just you get a target. It's just keep throwing. And they might make it like a tournament. So if there's 5 years, you verse each other, progress until there's a winner.
Right.
It's a lot different to here where you could throw ninja stars, you can throw knives, you can throw spears. Back home, it's just the same axe every time.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, with that, you sort of get in the rhythm of throwing the axe.
None of us could
here.
get the full size axe to stick. That was
but
that was a 4.5 pound axe.
We didn't have enough room to get
That's
full
an outdoor.
rotation in.
Yeah.
Like that's a full fireman, like lumberjack
And then
axe.
the big the spear, I got the stick, but it just weighed too much. It kept
Oh, yeah.
falling out.
The harpoon.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
That
harpoon
hard. I mean,
one.
it was full metal, full
Yeah.
metal
Yeah,
shaft.
that thing was probably good 6-8 pounds.
But yeah, we got to do that. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of brings us to our last couple topics. The biggest one being the podcast we're doing right now. Well, once we got done with dinner tonight, we came over here to record these podcasts, and we actually got to record these in a professional studio. And I have to shout out once again my wife for making this happen for us, because it's a great opportunity for us to sit here and, you know, just kind of talk about what we've gotten to do, and it's been a blast.
Yes.
And it is currently what's that, 12:11?
Yeah.
It's midnight right now, but we're still up, you know, having a good time recording some podcasts, and hopefully, you know, people actually listen to this and enjoy it. But
Hell yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
I do want to take just a minute or two. Troy, how is Ozone doing? I mean, I know this is going to go on all of our Ozone stuff, and truly, I mean, Ozone is sitting in this room right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been pretty quiet. Yeah. Not many teams in a sense. The 3-4 of us here are really what keeps it going. If it wasn't for you guys, this would have died years ago. From my end, anyway, I would have lost interest. But with boys like yous, like in it as well, it's sort of.
Don't cry, Troy.
I'm not gonna cry.
You sound like it.
No, I'm fine.
He's getting glassy eyed.
No, I'm good. No, like, yeah, you guys really. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say it's friends. It's small family now. So
Right.
Well, and like we said in the previous podcast, I've known you 5 years, but you and Hunter have been hanging out even longer than that.
yeah, me and Hunter are coming up on, I reckon, 10 years.
10 years?
Maybe 11 years now.
Yeah.
Well, because Ozone originally started in 2013, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Just as a little side thing for me.
And, you know, we can officially say it's grown international. We can officially say that we've got content creators on both ends of the world.
Hell yeah.
You know, even if we just talk about you over in Australia and us three Americans, you know, over in our area.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yep.
I can tell you that, you know, Ozone has been a big part of my life. You know, even if I'm not gaming with you guys every day, even if I'm not making content with you every day, you guys have given me the opportunity to show a side of me that I didn't really get to show a lot of to people outside of gaming. And
It's the same with me as well.
I believe gaming does that, though. You know, gaming is a good way to bring people together that wouldn't normally hang out together. You know, like we talked about earlier, perfect example of me and Hunter. You know, I don't think our paths would have ever crossed if it wasn't for gaming.
Yeah. I mean, other than when we worked at the same job there for a little bit, yeah, I mean.
But even then, we weren't hanging out outside of work.
Exactly. I mean, it's just crazy how this organization has just brought us, and not necessarily just us, but like a group of people all around the world to, you know, one spot. You know?
See, and like I met Troy through my brother, obviously, and like I've known you for 8 or 9 years. It's
Maybe up there.
it's up there. It's a long time, but it's just a crazy
Oh,
thing
God,
to think
boys.
about.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
Nobody's allowed to cry.
like as you know now, Connor, like, I'm basically treating you like my brother. I'm giving you a little.
Troy's
I'll
been
put
picking
you
on
in.
him the
Yeah,
entire
I'll,
time.
I'll pull your leg
Uh-huh.
hair and I'll annoy you as much as I can. Like,
He got whooped on
Oh
the
my
butt
God.
that one night.
I completely forgot about something we have to address before we go to our last topic. Troy had a wonderful experience while he stayed at my house. We were talking about this at Buffalo Wild Wings,
Ooh,
and we were
his,
joking about it, but I have to bring it up because
Yep.
I almost pissed myself laughing. So one night when Troy was staying with me and Hannah,
What are we gonna call this? The
no, we're not going to call it anything. We're just going to tell it. I got
this will
called
be
out.
a TikTok clip.
I got called out for some fire calls, and I went and ran one, and I got toned out for a second while I was out. Well, come to realize, I left my phone at home, so Hannah had no idea where I was, what I was doing, where I was at, and I was gone probably an hour and a half. I come home, and, you know, the house is already dark, everyone's in bed, And I come home, and I did my normal routine when I get home from a fire call. Because usually at night, you kind of get up, throw on whatever's on the floor, and you go. Well, when you get home, you do the exact opposite. You get home, take your shirt off, start getting undressed. I had already taken my shirt off, and I realized the light was on in the spare bedroom where Troy was staying. So, I saw his phone. And I opened the door and I said, "Hey, bud, sorry I was gone, so long. You know how, calls go." And he's looking at me, and he finally goes, "You know what? Turn that light on. I can't see you. I don't have that visual of you." So I turn on the light, and here's this big old burly, chicken fried standing in the doorway,
Hairy
no
boy.
shirt on. Oh God, hairy stomach and all. And all Troy does is, "Ooh." He jumps over in the bed he's in, whips them covers up, and goes, "Come on, hop in."
Yeah, I mean, it was just too good not to. It was a perfect chance.
And I almost pissed myself laughing. I remember, that's probably one of those things I will never forget was him just, "Come on, big boy, hop in."
Yep.
But I think that probably brings us up to the one topic that none of us actually want to talk about. Here in the next 3 days, Troy has to go home. We have had a blast. It really has been fun. And we're hoping that we can get Troy back over here in probably 4 or 5 years again. I know he said he's talked about a couple trips with the girl he's seeing about potentially coming this way. And, we can't wait to do this all again, hopefully in a time period where I don't have a bunch of things I have to worry about. Setting up for a wedding,
Right.
doing all this stuff, having to go back to work early. I can just take a couple weeks and do what I want to do, and hang out with you boys and chill. But this is the part where I said I wasn't going to cry, and I'm probably going to. I'm going to say it on this podcast. Troy, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so glad you were able to come, bud.
I'm glad I was invited, even though I technically also never got my invite to the wedding.
Okay. You
I
can leave
never
that.
technically got that. I had to save the date, but I never got invited. So
Yeah.
I technically crashed the wedding. I
as a
hope you know.
member of the bridal party.
Yep, I hope you know I crashed your wedding.
I wasn't there, so it's okay.
Yeah, he had some collegiate trap shooting event he had to
Yep.
be at.
Hey, I won.
But Troy, I love you to death, brother. I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
glad you were able to come, and I'm so glad you were able to be a part of not only my big day, but just the essence of Ozone. Guys who pretty much are not in the same social groups, coming together, doing stuff that we all find fun. And my hope
So-
is that as we go further, Ozone becomes stronger. We start doing some more content together. And maybe, we can start doing these podcasts more regularly again.
Yep.
Even
Yeah.
from a couple, 100,000 miles away or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yep, it's a long way.
That's,
Question is, when we going over there?
oh man, your mom's already hounding me.
Yeah, I know.
When are me and my wife going to make the trip over to Australia?
Yep.
And I told her that I'm broke because I'm married. And your sister chimed in and said, your money goes further over here. So really, you're not broke over here.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah?
that's a good point, but
Yeah.
I can't bring my guns, so I'm going to have to stay here.
Yeah, but I mean, no one else has guns, so you don't have to worry about safety like that. So
But that's all I'm going to say for this moment. I do want to give Hunter and Connor a chance to say anything they want to before we sign off. So, Hunter.
I mean, kind of like what Brandon said. I mean, thank you for coming, bro. It's about damn time. That's all I can really
Yeah.
say. But, I mean, you've been friends with me and Connor for, I don't know how many years now. Almost a decade. So,
it's getting up there.
again, glad we're still doing Ozone. We're going to keep doing Ozone. We appreciate everybody that supports us and, continue to support us, whether it's content or streaming,
Yeah, and like you said earlier, you're family at this point, and it's like you're my smaller, older brother. And,
Eldest brother.
Oldest, okay.
Yep.
But we love you, and we're happy to have you. Although, I'm going to call him out on it. Troy's sleeping on the air mattress at the house.
Hey, just so we also clear with this,
Uh-huh.
I was offered the bed, and I said, hell no, I'll take the air mattress because that's your
Uh-huh.
bed.
Yep.
I'm the oldest. I'll take the air mattress.
Uh-huh.
So I took the air mattress, and I wouldn't say we fought over it, but I convinced him that was mine. He said, if you don't like it, you can have the bed. And I was like, I'll be fine.
So Troy, all I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity to make your final remarks.
Yeah, I can't be more grateful for the whole trip. In a sense, being invited to your wedding was obviously massive. I sort of had an idea that something was going on when you told me I had to call you when I got the letter, because you just caught me by surprise that you would want me involved in your bridal party. Technically, never meeting until whenever it was I got here before.
A week before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and at this time, the trip wasn't planned for what
No.
dates I was going to be here.
Yeah.
So, and this was planned at least a good 12 months
And then,
prior.
Easily.
The amount of times at night we'd be sitting on the couch, be like, "What do you want to do?" I don't care. I'm down for whatever. So
Yeah, and,
we'd
like-
go whip out the PS4, go grab the old Wii from downstairs, start playing Wii
Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah, like, I couldn't be more grateful for, especially for you to open up your homes, so I didn't have to pay for hotels and for just, I mean, if I wanted to go somewhere, would be driving me there. Like, use made it worth coming. And
Did you ever get to drive on the highway here?
no, but I did drive from your
I
house.
feel
to
like we
your
gotta let
house.
him drive on, not the big highway, but you can
We're gonna
drive
put
on.
him on I-70 tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's quiet out, we could do it.
No,
Yeah,
it's not quiet out. It's
not
I
in
mean-
my
quiet out.
car.
Saturday
come on,
night
I'll
in
be fine.
Como, not quiet at all.
All right.
Well, all right,
Yeah.
boys. I'm gonna do something that I have not done in a long time, since I have not streamed in a long time. Are you ready for this, Troy?
Oh yeah, I just love this shit.
Guys, this is gonna be coming to the conclusion of this 3-part podcast. Make sure you share this with your friends, your family. We here at Ozone sincerely appreciate your love and support. Make sure you go check us out, ozonegg.com. That is ozonegg.com, where you can see all of our current teams, latest news, upcoming events, read a little bit more about us as a company and as a group. You can go see our merch store, any forums that we have on any extracurriculars we're doing. But guys, it's time for us to sign off. So everybody give your sign off. We're going to start with Connor.
Peace out. And I'm not gonna say goodbye, as I was always told. See you later until we're in the dirt.
And then Hunter.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys, for real. Thank you.
Of course, Troy.
See ya.
Guys, this is Chicken Fried 818. Brandon, we love you guys. Take it easy. Until next time, we're out.